Here's a close look at the box. Open it up and here we are. This is a flashlight, the MA2 pistol flashlight. Loving their packaging so far. Looks amazing. Let's just pull that out. Very nice. So this is an all metal flashlight, 800 lumens. It has a little screen on there for the battery, and just remove that, and there's your pressure switches, and it's got a light in it, or it's got batteries in it, I mean. So let's see, push on. It's halfway charged, I believe, 500 lumens. So that's on and off on each of them. So you just press in, and that's how you activate the light. I don't see a way to do momentary on and on like the Surefire, and it's supposed to be 800 lumens. I'm not sure there's a way to adjust that, but it is cool. It does say WARRIORLAND on the little thing there once it's going, so it's pretty bright. And then the Moonlight version is you hold both, and then it just has a very, very faint light, which is very dim. And then if you double click it, it goes into strobe mode. So yeah, it's a very compact, small, lightweight flashlight. Feels pretty good in construction, and you don't change the batteries. You actually charge it from the side magnetically, which is pretty nifty and very smart. Definitely better than my Surefire in a lot of ways. So the other stuff in the packaging, some of it did come out, like little things like this for different pistols. We'll try it out on a couple pistols in just a second here. But we get the rest of the stuff out of the packaging. We have the charging cable for the magnetic part. So let's see if it will fit on the rail adapter. Now, one thing the Surefire does do slightly better is that you could just like spring load, pull that down and put it on a pistol. This one you will need to actually undo the screw to get it on. So let's do that real quick. Alright, so we have it affixed. It is a little awkward in shape for this build in particular that I have here, but as you can see, it went on just fine to the rail adapter. And I can double click. There we go. Strobe mode. So it looks pretty good on there. It's a very solid fit. It does not wiggle around like the Surefire did because it is screwed on. So that is pretty nice. And you can see the little screen comes on, and then it tells you 500 lumens, WARRIORLAND, and then I think after a couple seconds that all goes to black. So next up is the Glock 34 Combat Master. Nice fit so far. So the screw does not have to come out, and this is slightly spring loaded, so it will just go on as such without having to remove the actual pieces. And it looks like whatever is on there right now is kind of a universal fit, even though it does come with some adapters. But if it fits on these two pistols, you should be good with a lot of other pistols. So very compact design. Fits on the Glock 34. Here it is on the Glock 19X. This is probably a better flashlight for these subcompact or just compact pistols. They line up perfectly with the barrel, so they're definitely a better fit than something like the Surefire. So it makes sense for these smaller handguns. Alright, so here's my TM 1911, and I think it went on just fine. Let's see. Yep, so it will be a little more forward. Let's see if I can get it more back slightly. Nope, it would have to be here because of the style of this rail. But as you can see, it looks pretty good on a 1911, and it's going to be one of the more compact lights, so nice. So this flashlight does seem to fit with the current adapter plate, which says Universal 1. And that is just, held on by two Phillips head screws, and then you can replace them with something if your light doesn't happen to fit on your pistol. So here's a quick look at the charger. Just remove that. It is magnetic, and then we just, goes on like that. So it won't go the opposite direction. It's the polarity's off with the magnet, so it's got to be like that, and that makes it a lot easier to charge. Okay, it's time for the next product. I actually